Scale is what I find to be the best iteration of Sword Art Online yet, and that's leaps and bounds better than the majority of its previous content. With the conclusion of Mother's Rosario and Sword Art Online 2, the series ended on the strongest point it ever had, because it gave a chance for characters other than Kirito to shine. And with the Ordinal Scale, I feel like it does the same, but even Kirito improves, which I find to be one of the biggest compliments that you can give this franchise. Even though by the end of the film he becomes that superhuman we know him as, both the progress we see and the motivations behind it make that end goal more realistic than ever before. Obviously, its visual magnitude and quality will improve as this is a feature film, but there's one thing I find Ordinal Scale immensely improved on, and that's the relationship between Kirito and Asuna. Both seasons of the television series didn't make it seem like a genuine love in my opinion, rather more the lines of a dramatization. With the Ordinal Scale, I see the struggle with both characters, as they don't want to lose the precious memories they had together, even if a lot of them were terrible. The motivations of both characters fit a realization in their relationship rather than a plot point, and I applaud how much of an improvement the writing of both the story and characters are. It also helps that the relationship actually starts to advance and the harem is pretty much almost non-existent. Sure, seeing that they're engaged at such a young age is a little bit unexpected, but it's still cute and most importantly progressive for their roles. I also really like the overall idea of the Ogma. The Nerve Gear was a cool device in which not many series discussed the idea of full dive VR, but using AR instead I think was a more of a practical option. The opportunities with this system stretched beyond only being in one game at a time, and with it both normal people and players were able to do a variety of things, and the amount of ways a person could use the system to do whatever they wanted was a cool detail. It made the world of gaming not just a niche concept, but rather a cultural phenomenon in which it was almost quote-unquote uncool not to have an Ogma, almost to the same vein as how esports are becoming a cultural phenomena themselves. Let's just say that I would totally pick up one of these if it came available, that's for sure. Bringing its narrative traits back up, the tension present in this film isn't as high of stakes, but I feel like there's more pressure here due to everything happening in the real world, and there's a physical aspect presented visually as well as mentally. While losing your past memories and having a possible chance of death is slightly less drastic than 100% dying for sure, it's presented to us in a way that makes the events happening feel more important than ever before. This all comes back to the improvement of Sword Art Online's cast and writing, because for one, we see both the progression and regression on screen, as well as having the main cast be the forefront of the problem, rather than the unimportant side characters. The villain for Ordinal Scale is a little bit half-baked, honestly, but the tragic backstory is a fitting idea to their overall points. It's miles better than the show's villains, that's for sure, considering there's nothing there for shock factor's sake. Moving on, I found the direction of this film to be solid. Certainly one of the highlights of the show was its animation quality, but I think the shot choices they went for in Ordinal Scale made everything worthwhile. They presented the Ogma and the Ordinal Scale game itself in a way that took advantage of what Sword Art Online is known for, plus making the world feel more expansive rather than just a dungeon crawler. It both introduced the fun and vibrant love of Japan's take on these ideas, as well as hitting the nostalgia of the series past. Yuki Kadra being back as a composer is also a super special addition to an already solid technical accomplishment. Also, side note for those who haven't seen the film yet and like Asuna's character design, she has an uncensored bath scene, so more power to you. Finally, I really like the ending. Everything gets wrapped up nicely and the 2-hour runtime is a perfect length. All the scenes present, unless you hate fan service, had a purpose to bring the story along or to show off its technical merits. Honestly, good stuff. Ordinal Scale is definitely more of an emotionally driven film rather than rational, but it's not a bad film by any means, quite the opposite. Don't let the detractions of past seasons stop you from watching this film, because I was one of those people too, and I at least found it impressive, but of course your mileage may vary. Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale is the most fun I've had thus far with the show, and because of that I do wish this was available legally in more areas instead, as you can watch it either by purchasing the Blu-ray like I did despite its outrageous price, or buying it through Amazon Prime as a video streaming option. Even though the Blu-ray costs $40, I am happy with the purchase, because it really is a technical staple to how great this show looks. Now, what are your thoughts on Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime related content and follow me on Twitter, Kitsu, and my anime list if you're interested. I'm Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.